Just because we were all raised in the same environment, we didn't get the same teachings. And some of us want to assimilate and already have it made, and they don't want to lose what they got. But unfortunately, I don't feel that way. And so I'm going to show you who my brother is.
Brothers and sisters in Black America, I speak to you not as a stranger, but as someone who understands the fire that burns in a people who have endured centuries of struggle and refuse to be broken. Across oceans and borders, our pain may have worn different clothes, but it is rooted in the same soil: oppression, theft, humiliation. Yet still we rise. I come to you with no superiority, no pretense, only truth and love. I have seen the games the world powers play. They exploit, divide, weaken. They tell us we are powerless, that we must beg for scraps at their tables. But I tell you now, we are not beggars. We are builders, we are warriors, we are thinkers and creators. The ones who shaped civilization when others were still crawling in the dark. Your history, your strength, your sacrifices, they echo across the world. We have watched you march, shout, organize, fall, and rise again. You built from nothing. You transformed pain into power, music, culture, innovation. But the fight is not over. The enemy has simply learned new tricks: deception, distraction, confusion. They fear a united people. They fear when Black voices in America link hands with their family in Africa, in the Caribbean, in South America. They fear when we look past borders and see the truth. We are one people, scattered but not lost. Divided, we are prey. United, we are a storm. You are not just Americans with dark skin. You are sons and daughters of a stolen continent. That blood in your veins is ancient. That spirit in your chest is unbreakable. Never let anyone reduce you to statistics, to stereotypes, to silence. You are not meant to just survive. You are meant to lead, to build, to reclaim what was taken. The time has come to remember who you are. Not just what they told you in schools and books, but what your ancestors whispered in the chains, what your mothers passed in lullabies, what your hearts already know. We in Africa are not waiting to be saved, but we are also not content to walk alone. We are rising and we are calling, not for charity, but for unity, for truth, for strength. We call you not just as allies, but as family. There is land here, there is work here, there is future here, but most importantly, there is healing here. Come, not as visitors, but as builders. Think beyond passports and currencies. Think of legacy. Think of the children not yet born, who deserve a world where their skin is not a sentence, but a source of pride. The world is shifting, the empire is trembling, and in this moment, those who know who they are must lead the way. We will not beg to be at someone else's table, we will build our own. The time is now. The call is real. And the question is simple. Will you answer? Across the world, Black people have faced centuries of injustice, exploitation, and erasure. Whether in the fields of the American South, in the townships of South Africa, or in the gold mines of West Africa, the hands and backs of our people have built nations that never returned the favor. The forms of oppression may look different: police brutality in the United States, economic colonization in Africa, cultural marginalization in Europe, but they are all rooted in the same global system designed to keep us divided, dependent, and disempowered. What we must understand is that these systems were not accidents. They were designed with intent. Slavery was not just about labor, it was about removing identity. Colonialism was not just about land, it was about breaking spirit. Segregation was not only about separation, it was about instilling inferiority. And today, the economic games, media stereotypes, political manipulations, they all serve the same purpose: to make us forget our value, our history, and our power. They want us to see ourselves through their lens. They want to define who we are, what we can achieve, and how far we can go. Yet despite all of this, we are still here. That is no small thing. That is victory in itself. Our people have survived the impossible. Our ancestors endured the horrors of slavery, the cruelty of colonialism, and the lies of modern capitalism. And not only did we survive, we turned suffering into music, struggle into poetry, poverty into invention. We found joy in the midst of pain, and we found each other across continents. That is the power they could never take away from us. There is a deep unspoken connection between a Black child born in Detroit and one born in Dakar, between the young woman marching in Atlanta and the one organizing in Accra, between the teacher in Chicago and the farmer in Burkina Faso. Even if we speak different languages, even if our flags are not the same, our stories are intertwined. We are the descendants of people who refuse to be broken. That resilience is in our blood. But resilience alone is not enough anymore. We cannot just survive. We must build. We must build. We must rise with full awareness of who we are and who we come from. Our strength is not just emotional, it is cultural, intellectual, spiritual, and economic. It is the strength to organize our communities, to educate our youth in truth, to build systems that serve us rather than exploit us. We must begin to act with unity, with intention, and with vision. The lies of division have lasted long enough. Africa is not separate from Black America, and Black America is not isolated from Africa. Our enemies have always known this. That is why they work so hard to keep us apart. The truth is, our shared struggle should no longer just be a source of pain, but a reason for unity. The systems that oppressed us were global, so our response must be global too. We must reach across oceans and recognize each other as family, not strangers. We must rebuild what was torn apart, not to return to the past, but to claim the future. In the face of injustice, we have remained standing. That strength should now be turned into movement, strategy, and vision. We are not scattered seeds, we are roots of the same tree. And the deeper our roots connect, the stronger our branches will grow. We are not here to beg. We are not here to wait for approval, nor to plead for space at someone else's table. The time has long passed for seeing ourselves through the eyes of those who oppress us. We are not victims, though they have tried for centuries to make us believe that is all we can be. We have suffered, yes, but we are not defined by suffering. We are defined by our will to overcome, to transform, and to rise. That is who we are. There are those who would like to trap us in a cycle of dependency. They want us to believe we need their systems, their governments, their institutions to survive. They want us to believe that without their loans, their schools, their businesses, we would collapse. But that is a lie that has been told for far too long. Black people have been creating, building, inventing, organizing, and leading since the beginning of human civilization. Long before slavery, colonization, and segregation, we were shaping culture, developing sciences, leading empires, and living in balance with the earth. That spirit is still within us. It was never lost, only buried under centuries of oppression. What must change now is how we see ourselves. We must stop allowing others to define our value, our intelligence, our capabilities. We are not less. We are not broken. We are not waiting for someone else to fix us. We are capable of healing ourselves, leading ourselves, and building futures that are rooted in dignity and strength. We are not projects for charity. We are partners in progress. We are not a people to be saved. We are a people to be respected. It is easy to fall into the role of the victim when the weight of injustice is heavy. It is easy to cry out for rescue when the system is designed to crush you. But we must remember, no one is coming to save us. The ones who will liberate us are ourselves. The power is already in our hands, but we must choose to use it. That means educating our own children, controlling our own resources, telling our own stories, and shaping our own systems of justice, economics, and governance. That means refusing to be satisfied with symbolic victories while the real power stays out of reach. Default, the world often wants to celebrate our struggle, but not our strength. They love the image of Black pain, of Black resilience, only when it comes with tears and trauma. But we must change the image. We must show the world what Black power really looks like. Unapologetic, self-reliant, and forward-moving. We must honor our ancestors not by repeating their suffering, but by completing their mission. They dreamed of freedom, of sovereignty, of unity. That is our task now, not just to dream, but to do. It is time to reclaim the narrative. We are not a burden on any society. We are the engine that built it. We are not outsiders, we are originators. Everything they said we could not do, we have already done. And now we must go further. We must lead in ways that are not just symbolic, but structural. We must no longer ask to be included in systems that were never designed for us. We must create our own. The world will try to keep us in the role of the dependent, because it is easier to control those who think they need you. But we don't need them. We need each other. We need unity, clarity, purpose, and courage. That is how we stop being seen as victims and begin to walk as the leaders we have always been. Let them.
Now, it has always been to the oppressor's advantage to divide and therefore conquer. There are some people who will never want to be away from their oppressor. I'm not one of them.